Oblivion Lost was the design name of Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl. In the course of development, the original concept of the game was changed. The devs realized that their vision was impossible and scaled back the scope of development. A modder by the name of Highflyer was fascinated by this and began working on a mod that could recreate this original experience. Stalker Oblivion Lost Remake released in 2013, unveiling the team's vision of how Stalker Oblivion Lost could have looked like. The storyline is different, the locations feel new, and the zone is a more hostile place. If you played Shadow of Chernobyl, this mod will seem like a distant dream of characters and locations that you recognize but are unlike the original game. You will be surprised by the amount of new artifacts, weapons, mutants, and even vehicles that made it into the mod. Visuals in Oblivion Lost have a varying degree of quality. Lake Yantar is easily the best looking area I've ever seen in a Stalker mod. And on the other hand, you have the Rostock factory that's just, look at it. The mod makes use of very outdated textures, and enclosed areas suffer greatly from this fact. The areas you will travel around are certainly more massive than the vanilla game, making you feel the scale of the zone. The downside of the massive maps is they are very unpolished. One frequent trend you can notice is floating geometry, which is a bug left over from the old build maps. Don't walk into them though, you will just float around like a retard, hopelessly waiting till the game lets you free. You can easily recognize areas from the vanilla game, but they are changed in significant ways. It was quite fun for me to rediscover them and see what's different from the finished version. Mutants retain the original look, but some additions are not that great. Just look at this. The weapons look outdated, but that was very much expected for a mod using assets from 2003. By far the worst visual additions of this mod are the frequent Psy effects. They're annoying as fuck and happen all the time. Some of you can probably even feel sick if this just keeps happening over and over again. The mod is plagued by this visual clutter because of some choices made in the gameplay, so keep that in mind if you want to play this mod. Quality of ambience varies heavily from location to location. Areas like Cordon will have your ears repeatedly assaulted by low-quality stock screams, and others will make you shit your pants when you hear them. The ambient tracks build up the atmosphere fairly well. Have a listen.
No.
Some characters in the mod are voice acted, and some just have text-to-speech run through them. It seemed okay to me, since I don't speak Russian and couldn't give less of a damn, but if you are a native speaker, this could be more of a problem. I can't say a lot of positive things about the mutants though. The sounds they continuously generate will annoy you to no end. The boars squeal every 2 seconds. The bloodsuckers constantly scream. And zombies just moan and moan. When you are near mutants, there's something constantly annoying you. And the worst offender by far is a pseudodog, which is probably the most dangerous enemy in the game. He will make you load your last save by merely existing. Hate this son of a bitch. Oh, and the guns. The guns sound okay. There's some stock sound effects, but that's no different than vanilla. There's even some sounds from Counter-Strike 1.6, so you can at least get your nostalgia kick. The beginning of this mod is dog shit. The maker of this mod really loves the Mi-24 assault helicopter, and by god you will appreciate it when a wire-guided rocket smashes right into your character when you just began the game. The difficulty of this mod is legendary. It's perhaps a filter to test if you want to suffer through the rest of the bullshit the mod has to offer. If you really want to play this mod, you need to be prepared to run through hordes of boars while your character is spazzing out and getting 100 rats per second, while in the middle of a blowout. Once you get past the bullshit and can abuse your found artifacts for infinite stamina, it can actually get kinda fun. The quests that you get are fairly solid, and you can't depend on your PDA like in vanilla, so you gotta remember details that might help you complete your task.
Вернулся.
As I said before, the middle of the month is the most fun, but even at the end of it I was getting pretty bored with traveling in between the zones, as they are vast and once you get infinite stamina going or just get a vehicle, it's pretty easy to traverse in between them. The endgame though is a return of the bullshit from the beginning of the mod. Prepare your anus for more attack helicopters and a dozen BTRs in Pripyat that make you feel like you are LARPing the fucking Chechen war rather than playing a Stalker game.
Mostawczym ereta, Allahu Akbar. Żywota genach da stola de khabar. Mostawczym ereta, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
There's a few additions that are pretty fun in this mod. The vehicles are generally a great tool. They range from cars, trucks, you can even get a BTR. I didn't though, because I fucking hate them. The downside is they are expensive to maintain and can become quite useless in areas with lots of anomalies, which is fine. Speaking of anomalies, they are quite different and generally more dangerous. No matter how far you're into the game, walking into the dumb gravitational anomalies will pretty much always mean insta-death. There are some fun, crazy things too, like a gravity artifact that functions closely to a gravity gun from Half-Life 2. But it's pretty much useless and deals no damage whatsoever, which was a disappointment for me. You can also get a gravity-assisted shotgun that uses bolts as ammo. Fun shit. In the mod you play as Messer. Your task, like in Shadow of Chernobyl, is to kill Strelok. There's some minor changes. Sidorovich is Toad, Barkeep is a biker, Freedom hang around the Dead City, and there's some new minor factions. The story is not that different from vanilla, apart from there's some mysterious parts of the mod, like the journalist character that was investigating the kidnappings of local children to the labs in the zone. It's fun stuff, but even to talk to him you have to do a lot of document hunting. It didn't work for me. I had to settle for the classic Wish Granter ending, which is pretty much short and sweet. Like the Wish Granter ending in Shadow of Chernobyl, it's a lie. Stalker, Oblivion Lost Remake, is a mixed bag of a mod. There were some moments when I was amazed, and some when I wanted to throw my keyboard out of the window. It's very raw, it's unfinished, but it was also engaging. You just kinda wait for what crazy stuff the mod is gonna throw at you in the next quest. I can only recommend this mod if you prepare adequately. You need to be sure you can stomach the stupid difficulty and the frustrating enemy design. But if you are a fan of vanilla, and you are just tired of the ways of mods of misery clones that plague the community nowadays, I think it's worth checking out. Just for the weird nostalgia fever dream feeling alone. I think that will be all from me. Thank you for still watching my garbage. See you next time.